Hello friends, welcome back to Dream Room. If you are looking at your garden in July and thinking, maybe I waited too long, I want you to take a slow breath with me for a moment. Maybe spring slipped away before you had time to plant. Maybe your patio pots are still empty, your front border looks tired, or that little corner beside your porch has been waiting for attention for months. Maybe you live in a small home, an apartment with only a balcony, or a modest backyard where every inch has to work hard. That does not mean your garden dream is over. In fact, July can still be a beautiful beginning. This video is for anyone who loves a cozy home, a peaceful bedroom view, a fresh porch, a simple working corner near a window, or a small outdoor space that feels personal and alive. You may not want a complicated landscape project. You may not want heavy digging, expensive materials, or plants that need constant attention. You may simply want flowers that can handle the heat, soften your space, attract butterflies, and make your home feel warmer every time you step outside. Today, I'll share 8 heat-loving perennial flowers that can rescue a bare July garden and turn it into a charming, natural extension of your home. These are flowers that work beautifully with terracotta pots, old bricks, wooden planters, gravel paths, raised beds, porch steps, and small seating corners. So before you give up on your July garden, stay with me. And if you enjoy practical ideas for decorating small spaces, cozy rooms, patios, and gardens with simple natural materials, please subscribe to Dream Room so you won't miss the next inspiration. 1. Lavender, the fragrant flower that turns a hot corner into a calm retreat. Let's begin with lavender, because sometimes the smallest corner of a home can become the place that changes your whole mood. Picture a sunny porch step, a balcony rail, or a narrow strip beside a garden chair. Maybe it looks plain right now. Maybe there is only an old pot, a bit of dry soil, and a wall that feels too empty. Lavender can soften that space almost instantly. It brings color, fragrance, and a quiet feeling that makes even a modest outdoor corner feel thoughtful and cared for. Lavender is especially helpful if you love decorating with natural materials. It looks beautiful beside terracotta pots, gravel, old bricks, weathered wood, woven baskets, and simple stone edging. You do not need a large garden to enjoy it. One healthy lavender plant in a raised container can make a small patio feel like a peaceful retreat. And this is why I like recommending lavender to people who want beauty without too much work. It does not ask for rich, complicated soil. It does not want constant fussing. What it truly needs is sunshine, good drainage, and enough space for air to move around the leaves. If bending down is difficult, place lavender in a waist-high planter or a sturdy pot near a chair, doorway, or window. That way, you can enjoy the scent every time you pass by. In summer, bees will find the purple blooms. Later, you can cut a few stems, dry them, and bring them into a bedroom, bathroom, or reading corner. Lavender reminds us that a July garden does not have to be big to feel beautiful. Sometimes, one fragrant plant in the right place is enough to make a home feel calmer. 2. Coneflower, the reliable comeback flower for long-term color. Now let's move to one of the most dependable flowers you can add to a July garden. Coneflower. If lavender gives your space fragrance and calm, coneflower gives it strength. This is the kind of perennial that feels reassuring, especially for anyone who wants a garden that does not need to be rebuilt every single year. Once it settles in, coneflower comes back season after season, bringing color, shape, and life to the same sunny corner. Its flowers have that classic daisy-like form, with raised centers and petals that open wide to the sun. They can look cheerful beside a walkway, natural along a fence, and beautifully relaxed behind lower plants in a small flower bed. If your patio or backyard seating area feels flat, coneflowers can add just enough height to make the whole space feel more layered and complete. This is also a wonderful choice for viewers who love a garden that feels alive. Bees visit the blooms often. Butterflies are drawn to the open flower heads. And later in the year, if you leave the seed heads standing instead of cutting everything down, birds can come and feed from them. That means your garden continues to offer beauty even after the main summer color has faded. For a July planting, choose a healthy nursery transplant rather than starting from seed. Give it full sun, well-drained soil, and steady water while it establishes. After those first weeks, it becomes much easier to care for. Coneflower is not a fancy plant that demands attention. It is a loyal plant. It reminds us that a beautiful garden can be simple, lasting, and full of life. 3. Black-eyed Susan, the golden flower that makes a tired garden look happy again. Next, let's talk about Black-eyed Susan, the flower that can make a tired summer garden feel cheerful again. By the time July arrives, many outdoor spaces begin to lose their fresh spring energy. The porch may feel too plain, the fence line may look dry, a narrow bed beside the walkway may feel forgotten. This is where Black-eyed Susan earns its place. Its golden petals and dark centers bring warmth, brightness, and a feeling of sunlight exactly when the garden needs it most. This flower is especially useful for anyone decorating a small yard, front step, mailbox area, or simple backyard corner. Yellow flowers have a special design power. They act almost like outdoor lighting. They catch the eye, brighten dull spaces, and make a garden feel more welcoming, even before anything else has changed. Black-eyed Susan is also practical. It loves full sun, handles summer heat, and does not need perfect soil to look beautiful. That makes it a friendly choice for beginners, older gardeners, and busy homeowners who want results without turning the whole yard into a difficult project. For the best look, plant Black-eyed Susans in small groups instead of placing one lonely plant here and another far away. Groups of 3, 5, or 7 can make the garden feel fuller and more intentional. Near a fence, beside a porch, or along a simple path, they create a warm rhythm that looks good both in real life and on camera. Black-eyed Susan reminds us that sometimes a garden does not need a full redesign. Sometimes it simply needs a few golden flowers in the right place to feel alive again. 4. Salvia, the vertical flower that makes small gardens feel taller. Now, if your garden feels a little too flat, salvia may be the plant that changes everything. In a small outdoor space, height matters. A patio corner, a narrow border, or a balcony container can sometimes feel low and unfinished because every plant sits at the same level. Salvia solves that problem with tall, upright flower spikes in shades of blue, purple, and violet. It gives the eye something to follow upward, which makes even a small garden feel more layered and complete. Think of it the same way you might think about decorating a room. Inside the home, a tall shelf, a curtain, or a vertical mirror can make a room feel higher. In the garden, salvia does something similar. It adds structure without taking up much ground space, which makes it especially useful for small yards, slim patio beds, and tight corners near a walkway. Salvia is also a wonderful plant for bringing life into the garden. Bees and butterflies are drawn to those upright blooms, so the space feels active without becoming messy or overwhelming. Once established, salvia handles summer heat well and continues blooming for a long season. For July planting, give salvia full sun, well-drained soil, and steady water while it settles in. It does not need overly rich soil, and it often looks better when it grows in a simple, balanced space. Place it near lavender, yarrow, or low ornamental grasses if you want a natural but polished look. Salvia reminds us that a small garden does not always need more plants. Sometimes it simply needs one strong vertical shape to make the whole space feel designed. 5. Daylily, the easy workhorse for gardeners who want beauty without stress. Next, let's look at daylily, one of the easiest flowers for anyone who wants color without turning gardening into a daily chore. A daylily is not the kind of plant that asks you to worry over it every morning. It is steady, forgiving, and practical. That makes it especially useful for real homes, where life is busy, the weather is hot, and the garden has to fit into your routine instead of taking over your whole day. Daylilies handle summer heat well. They can grow in many soil types, return year after year, and fill empty spaces around paths, fences, sheds, porch edges, and sunny backyard corners. If you have a bare strip beside a walkway or a tired spot near the patio, daylilies can bring it back to life with very little drama. Each individual bloom lasts only a short time, but the plant produces many buds, opening one after another. That means the display continues, and the garden keeps offering fresh color. For a July garden, reblooming varieties are especially helpful because they can extend the season and give you more value from one planting. This is a good flower for beginners older gardeners, and anyone who wants a low-maintenance landscape that still feels warm and welcoming. Use softer colors near quiet sitting areas or bedroom windows, and brighter shades near entrances, fences, or places where you want the eye to stop. Daylily reminds us that beauty does not always have to be delicate. Sometimes the best flower is the one that simply shows up, handles the heat, and makes your home feel cared for. 6. Bee balm, the living garden flower that brings hummingbirds close. Now let's bring movement into the garden with bee balm. Some flowers simply add color, but bee balm makes the whole space feel alive. Its blooms are bold, unusual, and full of energy, with shades of red, pink, purple, and lavender that stand out beautifully in the summer garden. If your backyard, porch view, or small patio corner feels too still, bee balm can change that feeling quickly. This is the kind of flower that invites visitors from nature. Bees come to it, butterflies notice it, and if hummingbirds live in your area, bee balm can bring them close enough to enjoy from a kitchen window, a porch chair, or a quiet home office corner. For anyone who spends time looking out at the garden during the day, that little movement can make the view feel special. Bee balm works especially well near the places you already use. Plant it where you can actually see it, not hidden away in a far corner. Place it near a sitting area, beside a window, or along the edge of a small backyard space where its color and activity can become part of daily life. It does like moisture, so keep the soil consistently watered while it settles in. At the same time, give each plant enough space for air to move around the leaves. Good airflow helps reduce mildew and keeps the plant looking healthier. Bee balm reminds us that a beautiful garden is not only about what stands still, sometimes the best part is the life that comes to visit. 7. Yarrow, the tough natural flower for hot, dry, forgotten spots. Next, let's talk about yarrow, the flower for those difficult places in the garden, where other plants seem to struggle. Every home has a spot like that. It might be a dry strip beside the driveway, a sunny corner near the fence, a narrow side yard, or a patch of soil that is easy to forget because it always looks too hot, too plain, or too tired. Yarrow is one of the best flowers for bringing softness and life into those spaces. At first glance, yarrow looks delicate. Its leaves are fine and feathery, and its flower clusters have a light, natural look. But do not let that soft appearance fool you. Yarrow is one of the toughest perennials you can plant in a hot July garden. It handles sun, dry conditions, and simple soil better than many more dramatic flowers. This makes it especially useful for people who love a relaxed, natural style. Yarrow fits beautifully beside gravel paths, stone edging, rustic fences, old wooden planters, clay pots, and cottage-style beds. It helps a garden look less stiff and more comfortable, as if it has always belonged there. Another lovely benefit is that yarrow can be cut and dried. If you enjoy simple home decorating, you can use dried yarrow in jars, baskets, small vases, or natural arrangements for an entryway, bedroom, or living room corner. Yarrow reminds us that forgotten spaces still have potential. Sometimes the driest, simplest corner of the yard only needs the right flower to become beautiful again. 8. Shasta daisy, the clean white flower that makes everything look finished. Finally, let's finish this list with Shasta daisy, the flower that can make a summer garden feel fresh, clean, and complete. After all the strong colors of July, sometimes the garden needs a little brightness to pull everything together. Shasta daisies do this beautifully. Their white petals and golden centers have a classic look that never feels out of place. They are simple, cheerful, and easy to understand, which is why so many people still love them in cottage gardens, porch beds, and sunny borders. In design, white flowers are very useful. They calm down bold colors, brighten small spaces, and make a mixed garden feel less crowded. If you already have purple salvia, golden black-eyed Susan, pink coneflower, or soft lavender nearby, Shasta daisies can sit between them like a gentle pause. They help the whole space feel planned instead of random. They are also wonderful near places where people naturally slow down. Plant them beside garden steps, near a front porch, around a patio edge, or close to a seating area. In the evening, their white petals catch the fading light, making the garden feel softer and more welcoming. For July planting, give Shasta daisies sun, well-drained soil, and steady water while they settle in. They do not need to be complicated. Their gift is simple beauty. Shasta Daisy reminds us that a garden does not always need something rare or dramatic to feel finished. Sometimes a clean white flower in the right place is what makes the whole home feel brighter. Final thoughts. Start small, plant smart. Let July bloom again. So if you stepped outside this month and thought your chance had already passed, I hope this has changed the way you see your garden. July is not a closed door. It is simply a different kind of beginning. You do not need a perfect yard. You do not need a full landscape plan. You do not need to lift heavy stones, rebuild every flower bed, or spend a fortune at the garden center. Sometimes, the most beautiful change begins with one sunny pot of lavender by the door, a few golden black-eyed Susans beside the fence, or a small group of Shasta daisies near the porch steps. These 8 heat-loving perennials, lavender, coneflower, black-eyed Susan, salvia, daylily, bee balm, yarrow, and Shasta daisy, each brings something different to the home. Some bring fragrance, some bring height, some bring butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds. Some soften dry corners, brighten tired beds, or make a small patio feel more complete. And that is the real secret of decorating with plants. A garden is not separate from the home. It is part of the feeling of the home. It is what you see from the bedroom window in the morning, what welcomes you near the front step, what softens your work-from-home view, and what gives a quiet chair outside a reason to be used again. So start small. Choose 2 or 3 flowers that fit your space, your energy, and your daily routine. Let them settle in, water them gently, and give them a place where you can truly enjoy them. If this gave you a new idea for your July garden, tell me in the comments which flower you would plant first. And if you enjoy simple, beautiful ideas for small homes, cozy rooms, patios, and gardens, please follow and subscribe to Dream Room. I'll see you in the next video.